The Egbekos 26 gruesomely killed by separatist fighters have been laid to rest. This was during a special funeral service orchestrated by the Cameroonian government as it was presided over by Southwest Governor Bernard Okalia Bilai in the town of Mamfi. Plus, enough is a watchword from the Cameroon Bar Association after a series of court judgment and counter-court judgment on high-profile cases have been a matter of the day. The bar wants such phenomenon to come to an end. Good evening to you all, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to High Prime for Wednesday, the 20th of December, 2023. We start off with this one from the University of Buea. The 42nd Council session of the University of Buea have come to an end, with key resolution being the adoption of the 2024 budget of the University of Buea to the tune of 9.02%, witnessing a drastic increase of 6.7%. This was made known by the Pro-Chancellor of the University of Buea, Chief Professor Ako Oben Edwards. More with our reporter on that, Daniel Ikomimbua.
In a bid to present, examine and adopt the 2024 draft budget by the University of Buea, the 42nd Council meeting has taken place this Monday, December 18, 2023. Holding at the Faculty of Science boardroom, was chaired by Professor Edward Ako Oben, who explains the key resolution.
The 42nd Council meeting of the University of Buea, which was essentially to examine the 2024 budget of the institution. But of course, as usual, we threw in a few other points which had to do with the promotion of teachers, which had to do with the endorsement of putting in place of business enterprises by the university in partnership with other bodies.
Examine and analyzing the 2024 budget, an increase of 6.3% was observed as compared to that of 2023, which the chair further highlights.
So in terms of the budget for 2024 which we have adopted is balanced in income and expenditure at 9 billion 20 million francs, an increase of 6.3% compared to that of 2023. And this increase is due to the fact that we have more paid professional programs this time, and then the investment budget of the University of Buea.
During the session, some key resolutions were arrived at as a means to facilitate the institutional activities.
Well, in terms of innovation, I think the most important thing is the endorsement of the putting in place of the UB printing press and the UB finance. You know, I think there's been a lot of emphasis of late on universities taking an entrepreneurial turn, that is, getting involved in businesses in partnership with other bodies.
It is worth noting that some of these projects are into effect, as the chair explains.
The printing press and UB Finance have already started collecting students' fees. The printing press has already started producing examination booklets. And you better believe this. Of course, this comes to each time the university has to spend millions and millions of francs. A good part of that money, or at least part of that money, will now remain with the university.
Going by the priority projects for 2024, some areas like infrastructures were not left out.
The university will continue with its usual activities, that is, extending the infrastructure for classrooms, for laboratory work, rehabilitation of hostels and the restaurant. So the things that will make learning and teaching more enjoyable at the University of Buea.
At the end of the meeting, the various heads were encouraged to continue to work hard so as to keep the institutional flag higher.
Enough is enough is the watchword from the Cameroon Bar Association after the country has witnessed a series of court judgment and counter-court judgment regarding high-profile court cases in the country. The recent situation being that of Jean-Pierre Amogu Belinga, where the set military judge says they were freed, but later on issue another communique revoking that, equally that of the Speaker of the National Assembly, relieving someone from his position as cabinet director of cabinet of that said institution. It's what that has made the Bar Association to frown at this phenomenon. More with a reporter on that, Rita Mafani Muchoko.
With the unorthodox court rulings and decrees from the reputable court judges in Cameroon, this has made the bar to be marveled by such negative attributions from the court's legal system.
I wrote to the Minister Delegate at the Presidency in charge of Defense, drawing his attention to the fact that something incurably wrong, something strange is happening, that an examining magistrate is alleged to have sent out a court ruling. Thereafter, less than 24 hours, he sends out a correspondence saying that ruling is not authentic. There is proof that that ruling was served by the registrar of his court. Then something is wrong.
With the recent confusion from the Yaoundé military court regarding the purported release of Maxime Eko and Jean-Pierre Amogu Belinga, not forgetting the communique from the Speaker of the country's National Assembly, Kavayege Jubil, stipulating he has appointed a new director of cabinet before releasing another one. These are just a handful of such scandals.
We are not interested in the content of the ruling. We don't care whether the people merited bail or they didn't merit bail. But what we are saying is that the entire justice system of this country has been put to question by that confusion. So we expected the military justice system to come out and clear the air. Let us know what actually happened and let somebody be held responsible for that. Because if we are in a country where court decisions need some other instrument to say whether it is authentic or not, then we are doomed.
As such, the Cameroon Bar Council deemed it necessary to organize this roundtable discussion in Yaoundé to shun these unhealthy practices in the nation who loses hundreds of billions CFA funds to corruption on an annual basis.
A week earlier, in the National Assembly, where it was read on national radio that somebody had been replaced, and the Speaker of the National Assembly wrote saying that that was fake. And up to this moment, no investigations have been done. I think the Cameroonian population, they deserve to be told what is happening. Yes, our elected leaders or designated or appointed leaders owe us the duty to tell us what is happening. Like guinea pigs, things happen and nobody comes out to explain to us. That is the position of the bar.
With such dexterity reviewed, a clarion call was made for all sectors to rise up like the Bar Council to engage in this fierce fight to stamp out corruption in the entire country.
Some shops at the Maifongquen in the Bamenda 3 municipality have been consumed by wild flames in that part of the northwest region. This was during the early hours of the morning as the inferno engulfed those set structures. The cost of the set inferno has not yet been established. More with a reporter from Bamenda, Sonitangu.
This was the sad situation at the Maifor Market in Gwen, Bamenda 3 subdivision, breaking December 12, 2023, where flames and smoke is what people could narrate of. Visiting the scene, the Bamenda City Council Mayor confirms that the cause of the fire was due to voltage fluctuations.
Well, we're grateful that so far we've not had any human casualty. 10 shops actually burned down to ashes, as you can see behind me, and it's been as a result of voltage irregularity and short-circuiting, and this took place in the late hours of the night, and we equally appreciative that the fire rescue team got here 30 minutes.
In the midst of the fire, some traders and the local population struggled in the hot flames to relocate some of their goods, while others suffered great loss.
From 11 ahead, fire was burning down everything in the market. So as we came in that night, we were struggling to pack out things for security purpose because the fire was very heavy in the way that if you cannot try to pack out things, then maybe everything will get burned. So now I'm here now trying to arrange how we can set up back the shop, but other shops are already down. Nothing have come out from other shops, nothing at all. So there are big losses for people. Even packing out with things in the other store, guys around again was taking advantage, taking some things to be owners. So there's very big losses.
It should be noted that the said area has been suffering from power failures for several weeks. As such, incidents and worse ones like these are bound to occur in the area if care is not taken.
My friend is shop this.
As we did told you in the headlines, the mortal remains of the 26th person gruesomely killed last Monday, the 6th of November 2023, in the village of Ekbeko in Manu Division have been laid to rest. This was during a state honored funeral to the fallen victims of the Ekbeko carnage, where they were laid to rest. The ceremony was presided over by Southwest Governor Bernard Okalia Belai. As a reporter from Mamfe, Bekindive, Nkongo Ebob has more.
38 days after some 26 persons were killed in their sleep, their houses burned and girls raped by suspected separatist fighters in a break-up new layout in Mamfe, Manu Division on November 6, 2023, they have been finally put to rest. This was during a ceremony that took place at the Mamfe Municipal Grandstand and saw the presence of Southwest Governor accompanied by some personalities to sympathize with the bereaved family. As the casket were laid, tears could be seen running down the cheeks of mourners when they saw the photos of their grandparents, father, mother, sisters, brothers, children, and worst of all, 5 dead from the same family. While conveying the head of state message of condolence and compassion to the bereaved family, Governor Bernard Okalia Belai challenged the population of Manu to terrorize the terrorists by systematically denouncing them to the local administrative authorities and the defense and security forces. He also urged the population to quarantine the families of the terrorists and instructed the administration and traditional rulers to say no to the hiding or protection of the terrorists.
The various speeches, the various divisions, and my own intercession. Separatists, I don't know if you call them separatists, they're separate. Don't have simple criminals. And the key word is to denounce them. Everybody, they agree that they are no longer in the bushes, because in the past year they used to say, those who are in the bushes, they are in our midst. They are living with us. I've authorized the mayors and I instructed that the exercise will continue. The public denunciation. The names have been read, the villages. So the people are known, but they continue to circulate. How are they living? Because they have the assistance from the family's members. So let all the leaders, beginning from the administrative authorities, right to the traditional leader, I mean the chiefs of the villages, denounce. And they just not denounce. They must invite the families.
He assured the bereaved family that all measures will be put in place to track down perpetrators of these barbaric acts. On his part, the Lord Mayor of Mamfe Council, Robinson Tabenchon Achu, in his welcome address encouraged his population not to yield to the promises of separatist fighters, but rather trust government action. It should be recalled that 14 out of the 26 dead bodies had been buried by their family members on the day of the unforgettable incident due to their decomposing state. During the years, Manu has been one of the really hard-hit division of the Anglophone crisis. the kidnapping of Reverend Fathers, sisters, and some church workers, and burning of Catholic Church in Chang, the burning of CMF, President of Presbyterian Church Chang, just to name a few.
You are watching High Prime, and we are coming to you live from our main studio here in High Television. We cross over to news from the Northwest region, where the town of Wombe now have a stable supply of potable water. This was made known to the population by the regional representative from that part of the Menchum division, who actually came to orchestrate this initiative that Shipa raided. More with our reporter on that, Sonny Tangunyu, once more.
Working for over 3 months, the high-intensive labor approach project, the Sakenze Water Project, has been realized. The population of whom Menchum division, after waiting for years, are finally happy as one of theirs has put hands on deck to make sure that water is available.
Don't suffer for the water for more than 50 years. When I will go up, they say, I can't find our way to way. These people, they really need them. Now road, now wait where they need them. I told them, no, if we take road, we walk the road. After some time, grass will grow there, we will not be fast again. See, we need them now water. When I be telling people, they say, when they need water plenty because water na life, not be so. Yes. So they be saying, I come, I fix this water, make a way dry season come, make it not dry. Make a way, it be good, may we drink them.
The project that gave jobs to over 35 youths has to be taken care of and kept clean.
Care for this thing, for make sure say at least every 2 weeks or so, they can do community work here, make this environment really clean. If possible, the next thing I will see, we plant some water trees them around here. Water trees where they generate water, maybe around here, so that we get this environment maybe good.
It is for sure that there are many other areas in Wombe and beyond without water, and if more of such projects are carried out, it will help lessen the burden of the population.
So, we mommy them, they dance from to dance. That many people they do that mommy they crowd.
We move over to the Southwest region, where members of the Board of Directors of the Southwest Development Authority, SOWEDA, has adopted the sum of 5.5 billion CFA francs as running budget for that developmental institution for 2024. The decision was arrived at during the 49th Ordinary Board meeting of the Southwest Development Authority, SOWEDA. More with our reporter on that story. The 49th Ordinary Session of SOWEDA Board of Directors is taking place in Buea with the adoption of the 2024 budget that is key.
There's a huge increase in the budget for the year 2024. You know, up from last year's budget that was about 2,220 million.
Presided over by its board chair, who is quite satisfied with the triple effect on its budget allocation to the tune of 5.5 billion CFA francs, is in order to succeed in the developmental strides in the region, as it is the board chair's elucidations.
The good news here is that the functional budget remains a very small part of this budget. So out of the 550 million, you have 162 million that will be used to run the office. And the rest of it, about 4 billion, 460 million will be used for investment. So money that will benefit the denizens of the Southwest region.
With the traditional mission being key, that is, the agenda towards the developmental outlets is poised for the resilience of the agricultural system in the entire Southwest region.
You know, we are now within the framework of the program budget, you're all aware. And within the context of SOWEDA, we have two, you could say, supervisory authorities, which is MINADER and MINEPIA.
With the tremendous increase of the 2024 budget, as it is all thanks to the several partnerships the said developmental outlet has engaged with other partners.
Now, this budget has increased so much because there are so many partnerships that SOWEDA has gone into with third parties. You have, for example, name a few, you have the Presidential Plan for Reconstruction and Development that is offering, you know, an envelope of just under 1 billion. You know, SOWEDA, the structure or the text that create the PPRD, you know, designates SOWEDA as a co-implementing partner with the United Nations, the UNDP. And so we've gotten into an agreement, and the UNDP has put at the disposal of Soweto an amount of just under $1 billion. Now you have PURCA, which in English stands an emergency project, to fight food scarcity in the region.
At the dawn of this 49th ordinary session of the Southwest Development Authority, Soweto, the local developmental outlet remains focused in seeing the massive transformation of the 6 divisions that constitute the Southwest region into swing action. Women in Alternative Action Cameroon WA has come to the end of a 2-day workshop on conflict resolution and peace building. The initiative taken by the said non-governmental organization stands as a catalyst when it comes to resolving the Anglophone crisis and other crises plaguing the nation. Cameroon is something that caught our news reporters' attention to Rita Mafani Mujoku.
As mission to devote efforts towards eradicating gender-based violence as well as enhancing human rights protection and promotion, Women in Alternative Action WA Cameroon has rounded up a 2-day training workshop on conflict resolution, peace building and advocacy.
This project, the Voice Project, is a 36-month project funded by the European Union, and the objective is for the prevention of youth radicalization and re-radicalization, that is return to violence, in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon. So here we are at the training for youth peace advocacy and peace building processes in Boya, and this is the 2nd edition of this training. By the end of the project implementation period, we aim to train 300 youths, among which 75 youths or ex-combatants from DDR centers. So this is the 2nd edition after we have trained 100 in 2022, 50 in the northwest and 50 in the southwest.
The workshop, which had over 300 plus participants, took place at the PCC Synod office with youths drawn from different parts of Cameroon such as Manfe, Kumba and the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Rehabilitation Center.
This personally, WA Cameroon has impacted me through this conference, through this workshop, because I've learned that as youth who have the commitment, the passion, the energy to make a difference, and you have to be intentional about making peace.
And today I can call myself a peace advocate because of the training and the knowledge I've acquired so far with WA Cameroon. And going back to my community in Indian Division, I believe I can rally my youth, go to school, preach peace, and to build Cameroon.
The Voices of Youth for Peace in Cameroon, funded by the European Union, is geared towards the prevention of youth radicalization and curbing violence in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon.
Most especially in conflicts. Learn a lot about conflict. Conflict is when 2 or more parties, right, they are not coming to an agreement.
In-depth knowledge on handling conflict and peace-building processes were part of the various presentations and discussions as the participants were drilled by the facilitator. In various groups, the participants brainstormed on advocacy ideas and means of conflict resolutions. An impactful session, some say, as they take back home the message of peace and better means of solving conflicts.
Teaches. But now we want you to practice it. While you go and have additional knowledge, maybe in school or wherever, to help you to improve on what you need again to bring back to the community. Knowledge that does not transform the community is no knowledge.
As the training comes to an end, participants build think tanks that will carry on the knowledge gathered to the various communities. They are expected to be advocates of peace and be ambassadors of peace building and conflict resolution in their various geographical locations.
We talk sports on this newscast, this time around from Menchum Division, where the Menchum Division Peace Football Initiative has come toward the end of that tournament. This saw the various teams from the division who came together to promote peace in football and other sporting activities in that part of the Northwest region. As our reporter in Menchum Division, Sonny Tangunyo, tells us more.
It is all ended.
for the 7th edition of Womb Council Unity and Peace Tournament celebrated under the Diamond Jubilee. Tournament saw a total of 14 teams participate in the football category and 9 teams in the handball category. St. Basili were the champions in the handball competition as she defeated Aya Girls by 17-6, while Mighty Powerhouse were crowned champions in the football category, defeating Ebonge 1-0. In celebrating the Womb Council Diamond Jubilee, the council thought it wise to use sporting activities to preach peace. The 2.5 months competition kept the town of Womb vibrating as teams from Furawa, Menchum Valley, and Imbu showcased their talent to over 6,000 spectators who came out in their numbers alongside traditional rulers, religious authorities, forces of law and order were caught in the web of preaching peace and unity.
With that sports story from Menchum Division, viewers of High Television, this is where we'll close this edition of the newscast for Wednesday, the 20th of December, 2023. Thanks for watching and Merry Christmas to you and your families.